30 seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Hi,
My name's JC McCauley.
I'm Naisha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
Good morning again. This is Jonathan Small, host and producer of Face to Face. Face to Face is one of two different programs that I have the pleasure of hosting and producing live every single week at AccessTV.org studio. Face to Face is a show that's designed to ask the guests the hard questions and give you, the viewers, the answers and information that you deserve to know. This morning on the Face to Face talk show, we have a highly ranked international political expert. He is a financial expert. He is a person that is advocating for social equity, not only in his home country, but possibly in throughout the world in many different aspects. This guest this morning on the Face to Face talk show was the 2024 presidential candidate for the great constellated a popular party located or headquartered in Accra, Ghana, no other than Dr. Daniels Augustus Lartey Jr. Good morning, Dr. Daniels. How are you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing too?
Okay, I'm doing.
It's afternoon here and it's morning over there. So we're looking for it and having a good discussion. There we go.
Excellent. Dr. Daniels, would you like to let people know a little bit more about your background, or do you want to jump kind of into the main topics of discussion?
Obviously, people would like to know who I am, really. Like you've already said, my name is Dr. Daniel Augustus Lartey Jr. I'm the second son of the late Daniel Augustus Lartey, who is the senior, who set up the Great Consolidated Popular Party. I was educated partly in Ghana and partly in the UK, in the United Kingdom. I've got my children in the United Kingdom, and I've got twin girls in Ghana as well. I have been in Ghana for about seven to 8 years now. Initially, I came to do some business with the government, and one thing led to the other, and then one is still here. And I think that I'm now in a position where I believe my expertise in Europe is very vital for all and sundry in this country.
Well, Dr. Daniels, you represent the GCPP party, as again, the Great Constellated Popular Party, which is not.
That's correct.
But this party is not considered the main party or the main two big parties that exist in Ghana. It's like a third party system. Could you kind of elaborate a little bit about the GCPP party system that you represent and that you were the 2024 presidential candidate for the country of Ghana?
Sure. I mean, like in any country, especially in the West, there are two-party systems, especially in the United Kingdom, there are two-party systems. But then again, there's small parties to support the the two parties to make sure that democracy prevails at the highest order. So yes, Ghana has got two main parties, the National Democratic Congress Party and the National Patriotic Party. And then there are small other parties, or there are other parties. I wouldn't call them small parties, but there are other parties also that also complement the democracy of the country. So that's where the GCPP comes in. Ghana's democracy has been running for the past 30 years, and the GCPP has been in existence for the past 25 years. So a little history about the GCPP that was set up by my late father. And so it's a public party. It's not it's not an individualistic party. We have supporters all over the place. We have constituencies all over the country. And for my late father's, political ambitions, most Ghanaians know him as Mr. Domestication, which obviously means you grow Ghana, you introduce Ghana, and everything you do is to make sure that Ghana is supported on the world market and on the world platform. Mm-hmm. And that was his ambition, and I'm also pursuing it vigorously.
Well, right now, Dr. Daniels, Augustus Lartey Jr., Ghana stands out as one of the most safest countries in Africa, one of the most safest countries throughout the world. It has a very strong, stabilized political climate, which is kind of rare for countries that exist in the continent of Africa. Why has Ghana, or how has Ghana been able to stand out, number one, towards the safety measures for a country that has over 30 million people, and how and why has the political climate been so stable in Ghana when you hear about many of the social unrest and other political issues that other countries in Africa consist of?
Well, from my standpoint and from my point of view also, Ghanaians actually are very, very peaceful people. Mm-hmm. And the reason why, from my take, the country has enjoyed long stability of independence and progress is because of the extended family system that we have in this country, and probably we have in Africa. But Ghana, because I know Ghana more, I can say that it's the extended family system. When something goes wrong, it's controlled from above. You cannot let people down, which is one of the most important things. And also, to me, I think what has sustained the political situation of Ghana is the various parties that we have. And these parties make sure that, the ruling party, or the party that comes into power, is made accountable for itself. Yes, probably, you might have heard of corruption here and there, but still, there is a lot of people who understand this country and want this country to be peaceful. So, to me, that's one of them.
Mm-hmm. Some of the strong assets that Ghana is known for is the gold and the cocoa. And the gold kind of stands out. I don't believe Ghana has a strong oil and gas industry, or you can clarify that if I'm not correct. But how important would it be for Ghana to try to diversify some of his other industries beyond, let's just say, the gold and the cocoa industry that Ghana is known for?
Right. Yeah. Ghana has a lot of gold. Before the name Ghana came up, Ghana was called the Gold Coast. Mm-hmm. So Ghana has a lot of gold, and also when it comes to agriculture, Ghana is the second world producer of cocoa. Mm-hmm. We supply cocoa. Now there are other industries that I think investors should look at, and I humbly ask them to come to Ghana see what they can do for the country, because there are so many other commodities and minerals that can enhance the country's economy. We got bauxite. We've got timber, we've got lumber, we've got cashew. We've got loads of cash crops that when investors are serious and they come together. There are opportunities for them. Mm-hmm. But it's not only on gold and cocoa. Yes, gold and cocoa are the main revenue earners, or the main revenue earners for the country. But there are other aspects as well. And now I think that when people come into Ghana with all the technical, for the want of word, IT, technology, and other areas, I think that those are the areas that investors should look at as well, because Ghana is also very well versed in those areas.
Yes. Dr. Lartey Jr., over the past, let's say, 50 years, give or take, you've had a tremendous exodus of people from America, Europe, like yourself, other countries, Canada, that has decided to relocate and move to Ghana. It's kind of really accelerated through social media that Ghana now is really the destination if you are dissatisfied with certain standards of living conditions here in the United States and other countries. The truth, though, kind of what this theme is about, what really is attracting people from different parts of the world to start to look at Ghana as a destination to live and reside at?
Right. I think first and foremost, let's look at security. Ghana is a very, very safe country in the whole of, to me, I think in the whole of Africa, really. Mm-hmm. The safety of the people in this country is second to none. I should say. The previous administration decided to encourage and ask African Americans to come back home, and it was made clear to them that their home is Africa, and their beacon is Ghana. Mm-hmm. And the opportunities available to them to come back is vast. The previous government did its best, but the current government has now got, a director of the diaspora, and is seriously engaging with African Americans and, Africans and Ghanaians overseas to come and help this country to be the beacon of Africa. Now, the country itself is very, very peaceful. The main activity in Ghana is agriculture. The country has a lot of minerals. It's a place where if you want to diversify from Europe, it's a place that you have to look at. Majority of the people in Ghana speak English. Mm-hmm. What else can I say that you'll have to know? Business is rife. The government is supporting businessmen from the diaspora. It's encouraging businessmen from Europe all over the world to come to Ghana. It has, and it's put certain measures in place to facilitate people coming to Ghana to do business. Try to make it seamless, and hopefully to encourage Ghanaians also to be entrepreneurship, so that they don't rely on government too much. They rely on their own skills and build this country to be the beacon of Africa. I can actually I can actually see the dream of Africa I mean African Americans and Africans, the diaspora coming together and making Ghana the beacon of Africa because of its stability and its understanding of how to deal with foreigners, I would say. Yeah.
Well, one thing that you constantly hear, and I don't know if it's overwhelming or it's just a little bit over exaggerated at times, you hear many African Americans who have made the transition from America to Ghana will say that they can't deal with some of the so-called racism, some of the injustices that exist in America. I would say, had this been in the 50s and the 60s when you had outright lynching, you had many different social, economic barriers, laws on the book, you might would say, okay, I can't deal with it. Yes, there is a form of racism. You do have a lot of injustices that come about. But I would say some of the main problems I think Black Americans in the United States should really look at, and there's different social economic categories that people fall into. Poor people in America formulate what you call inner city neighborhoods that ends up turning into crime infested areas, and you hear senseless killings after another. The poor people in Ghana who could be oppressed as well, they don't seem to turn on themselves. They don't seem to afflict the type of level of crime and things that will destroy a community like you see in the United States. I believe you said off of the air, you think the family structure is really key that Ghana has intact far beyond what the United States has intact. Is that a big part of the problem that you see when you hear mass killings in the United States and a lot of daily social unrest that really doesn't exist in Ghana?
Right. Now, I mean, where do I start with this question? The main, I mean, I think that you see, when you live in Europe, is a different scenario. Now, I mean, I know some people will say yes or no, but to me, I believe Europe is for Europeans. And when you live in someone's country, you have to abide by the rules. Now, when you follow the rules, then you become, I mean, you know, they have to take care of you in the way that they think is fit. Now, I mean, I've lived in Europe for a very, very long time, and I play at the highest level. My office goes not very far from the Bank of England. I mean, you know, I can say that I was one of the Black financial consultants who was doing quite well or very well. But at the same token, that is not where you are from. So I believe that with all African Americans and all the people in diaspora who are educated and doing extremely well, please look at Africa, look at Ghana. Look at Ghana, because you say, when I quite remember, I mean, I was watching TV, and so there's African Americans who now want to come and live in Ghana, and I just couldn't believe how happy they were. One of them, I had on TV, one of them was saying that, I cannot believe it. I'm walking in a place that's so full of Black people. And I can see, I mean, you know, there are no white policemen. But that is what it is, you see, because I think, I mean, we who have lived in Africa and before we went to Europe, we look at the Europeans in a different way, in as much as some of them tend to look down on you. we also at some point look down on them because because of the way our extended family system is, you have the confidence, and when you're studying and you're doing well, and you see your fellow whites are not doing as well as you do, it gives you quite a lot of confidence, I would say. I mean, I've lived in England, so I can talk about the United Kingdom. That to me, I mean, probably I'm the wrong person to ask a question like this because color, to me, I think color in the UK, when I was really transcends where I come from. I don't let color frustrate or restrict me. Because my friends that I have are also in the same league. I have a very good friend who is an Indian Singaporean, and he's one of the top barristers in the UK. But yet it's very difficult to hear and see. Black people being accosted and beaten up in the U.S. by the police. Whereas when they're here, there's nothing like that. Everyone is treated fairly by the laws. Everyone is treated fairly by the rules of the land. What can I say? I've never lived in the U.S., so I cannot say anything about how Black people are handled over there. But I think it's a shame and it's sad that when it comes to Africa, and now that they're here, they are just loving every little bit of it. Some of them are having their names changed to, Ghanaian names, and they're setting up companies, mixing and mingling with everybody. So yeah, and more importantly, it's easier to do it here in Ghana because of how the family structures are. Because the extended family system allows Ghanaians also to accept people from other parts of Africa. It's not only people from the US.
Right.
Yeah, and we normally look to deal on issues with one, with one mouth or with a mouth instead of the usual gangs and police dogs and stuff that chases people around. Ghana is not that sort of a place.
But Dr. Lartey, some of the areas though, when you move to Ghana, that you would have to be adjusted to is you have issues with the water system. You can't really drink the normal tap water, if this is a truth or this is a myth or if a fact or if it's not. You might run into some issues, maybe not being able to get all of the products that you would like on a regular basis. Could you kind of clarify some of the issues with the water system that Ghana still is facing, and then some of the issues that you would have as a foreign-born person with being able to get the daily necessities that you are accustomed to purchasing, whether you're in England, Canada, or America?
Right. Now, when it comes to water, I'll advise anyone coming to Ghana, to drink bottled water. That's, I would say that. But to have a shower and clean your cars and stuff like that, you can use the water from the taps. Now, talking about the contaminated water, which is a very, 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 very serious matter now. Most of the water bodies where the mining occurs, which is, I would say, the illegal mining occurs, those areas, the waters are really contaminated, and we advise people not to drink it. Now, this contaminated water is caused by illegal mining, where foreigners and to me, I think it's 100% foreigners coming to abuse the land because some locals allow them to, mine Sorry? Because of the money they have, they allow them to mine at places that they shouldn't, and then that ends up in contaminating the waters. Because, I mean, and the areas that they tend to thrive in is the alluvium side, where they have to go into the riverbed and dig for gold, and you use dynamite to blast the rocks and stuff like that, which also goes down into into the boreholes, and causes a lot of, there's contaminated water that cannot be used. The government is doing its best to stop the illegal mining. Most of the illegal mining is done by Asians. The Chinese ambassador himself has actually agreed with the Ghana government to make sure that their people should stop doing this illegal mining, which is causing a lot of havoc and a lot of hardship in the rural areas, and is now gradually affecting the cities of the country. Yes. But the government is doing a hell lot of a job. They are, ransacking some of these gold mining sites where these people are doing this illegal mining, which is affecting the country very much. But I can tell you that from what I've seen so far, the illegal mining and the water bodies that have been contaminated are being dealt with.
What are some of the future plans that you are advocating for? I had mentioned towards the introduction of the show, you are advocating for social equity. Social equity is a real bold goal, but what's kind of your plans or your platforms or some of the agendas that you are working towards to establish not just social equity, but other issues of social economic empowerment for the country of Ghana?
Yeah, now that leads me straight onto the general election time, where I was advocating for grow what you eat and eat what you grow, which means that we have to be self-reliant, which is the most important thing. That for you to be industrialized, you have to be self-reliant. We have to be able to take care of ourselves, and to take care of ourselves, we have to go back to basics, which is farming. We have to farm the land. We have to feed ourselves, and we have to use technology, because now there's a lot of technology around that can help us to grow and expand our farms. Some farms, we can turn them into plantations. Currently, I have investors coming to invest into cocoa plantations. We have investors coming to invest in cashew nuts. I have investors coming all over the place to set up companies to produce sunflower oil. My aim and my agenda, then what will make me happy is to see that we can then be totally self-reliant, feed ourselves, and where we can feed ourselves, then we can take care of our medication as well. So medically, our hospitals will be taken care of, because without farming heavily, feeding ourselves, having revenue will be a difficulty. So my goal and my ambition, and I think it's the government's ambition as well, is to grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Quite recently, the government launched the the Grow Food agenda, which is on the same lines of grow what you eat and eat what you grow. And more importantly, to get the youth into employment, because I mean, my other goal, which is the most important goal, is to engage the youth. Because if we don't engage the youth properly, politics also decline. So I think that the youth should be engaged. They should be made aware of what they have to do. They need guidance. They need parenting. And that's one of my goals that I keep pursuing. Because without the youth, I mean, you know, our economy cannot grow. You need the youth. You need the youth as the catalyst to grow the economy. You need the youth to be on the farms. You need the youth to be on the fields. You need the youth to be in the factories. But you have to parent them to understand the good and the bad.
Well, again,
and that is what and that is what I really advocate. And I know, and I'm 100% sure the government knows that I advocate for the youth, and the government is doing very well also in that aspect. I mean, quite recently, I was invited by the Youth Parliament, and you know, so they have their president, they have their speakers, so it formulates politics, so they understand politics more. I mean, we have to let the youth understand that politics is not a bad thing, although it has its ways. But I believe that the youth are the main, are the engine of society, that the engine of the economy, that the engine of every country. And I think the way we harness them is what we reap. So you reap what you sow. But mine is to make sure that the youth are very, very, very much directed. They need direction, you know? It's like, I mean, it's like every family. If you don't take care of your children, they become wayward. So you have to tell them what to do, guide them. And when they become adults, then you assist them. But for now, I think the youth are the main source of the country's strength. The country's moving forward is the youth. Ghana's youth is about 38% of the population. And I think that we have to really, 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 really engage them and engage them fully, I would say. We need to engage the youth. And me coming back to Ghana, I just really, I realized that for some time ago, the youth has been sidelined for a very, very, very long time. So I believe that now is the time to bring them in. We can't say that what has happened, I mean, the way they've been treated, so we should lead them to go the way or to behave the way they're behaving. We have to still guide them. We have to bring them in check, in line, so that they understand that governments or countries do not just exist, but you have to work and sacrifice for your country, which is terribly important. And I think that I've been passing this information on to the youth, and I'll do my best to make sure that they are parented properly, whichever way form that it counts. And during the elections also, I remember that I was saying, or I remember that I said to, on all my campaigns and on all my interviews, that whichever party wins, we all have to come together. All the other political parties, whether they're 5, 6, all have to come together to build a country worth saying, this is my country, this is Ghana. So we all come together, help the party that wins. If I had won, I'll bring other parties in. And I expect that the ruling party now, I would say it's doing well, but let's see how, he gets all the other parties in to help what they are doing now. They're doing very well now, I should say. Although it's the beginnings, which is, they've been in for about 6 months, but we can see some grass shoots. We can see some good things happening. So I will always say, if you do If you do good, I'll say. If you do bad, I'll let you know. But for now, I think that things are going in the right direction. We pray that it continues that way. We also still extend our hands to get our American brothers and sisters to come down. The director of the diaspora is a friend of mine, and he's doing very, very well in those areas. And I mean, I'll say that he's encouraging, Ghanaians and Black people in the diaspora to come back to Africa, especially come to Ghana, and make Ghana a beacon of Africa. So for now, that's what I'm going to say. But Ghana is, it's looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good right now.
Okay, so right now you kind of feel optimistic with the current president, Mohammed, that exists with some of his policies. Are you able to collaborate or offer any insight? Because you had mentioned you have some strong connections that you want to utilize towards investments. You constantly focus on the youth. So are you in a position to work with the current administration, the president, or any other smaller versions of the administration as being part of the GCPP? Does that cause any friction that you are part of another political party trying to work with the current party?
Yes, yeah. Yes, because I do want the government to succeed. I definitely want the government to succeed. The World Environmental Day, which was about a couple of weeks ago, I was with the president at one of the schools that when he was the president before he built, and I had my UK partners in town planting trees. Donating trees, about 5 million trees. 5 million trees to the government. I will support the government in anything that is good for the country. I certainly will do that. Our party will support the government in any aspect of development and growth of this country. For Ghana to move forward, so that whoever takes over in the future will not suffer. But for now, I can tell you, the Great Consolidated Popular Party supports the government in the right direction. If the government sways, we will also make him aware. But for now, I think that the government is doing well, because in the last 6 months, Ghana was in a default mode. But Standard & Poor's just recently, rated them on a CCC plan, and then I think just last month, Finch now upgraded them to B minus. So obviously, that something good is happening. They're doing something good, and I hope, and we all pray and hope that it sustains, and we move forward to build a better Ghana. But they're doing quite good now. I would say they're doing quite good now, and I don't mind saying it and support them wholeheartedly.
Well, Dr. Lartey Jr., I always try to find an excellent way or some type of positive way to end the particular show. We are running out of time, and it feels encouraging for you to support and feel encouraged by the current political party and the president, Mohammed, and then what you're trying to do also to make Ghana a better country. I didn't even really get a chance to even ask you how was you able to make the transition, but it seems like to me, you have been able to get plugged in pretty smoothly, at least from what I see and what I'm hearing on the outside. As I ask every guest towards the end of the particular show, if there's any last words or any last things that you would like for people to know about yourself or what you're currently doing or working towards, feel free to express yourself.
Right now, like I said, I can see a dream for the future. I can see a dream for the future that African Americans and all our guys in the diaspora would come, would build a beautiful, build a country that we all will be very proud of. We'll build a country that is 100% the beacon of Africa. Ghana has always been the leader in African politics from Kwame Nkrumah's time to current times. I will also like to engage the businessmen who want to come to Ghana. When you come to Ghana to and do business or in business in this country, there are areas that you have to visit, which is one is the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. They will guide you as to what to do and what you cannot do. And then we've got the Ghana Free Zone Authority also, which also guides you as to what you can export. What you can take out of the country, the benefits that you get. Most of them are benefits and how to maneuver the system. What else can I say? I also would like to say that when the investors come to visit or they come to Ghana to do business, I think that they should not look down on the locals, because the locals are the ones who are going to help to run the businesses for them. I think that they should come not with preconceived ideas that they're going to see someone who is below their standards. No, I would say no to that. I will say to them, come with an open mind, trust your instinct, which is one of those, and make sure that you meet with the right people, you meet with the right businessmen. Overseas companies, they need to have a local content. The local content means, you must have a Ghanaian as a part of the company. In directorship. I will also say to whoever, any businessmen coming in who are interested in minerals like gold, like silver, like copper, whatever, please, don't come with preconceived ideas that you're looking for discounts here and there. Come with a clear conscience. Come and find out what you can and cannot do, and then you will have people to guide you. I know that the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, which is the GIPC, they will give you the full guide of what can be done and what cannot be done. And the thing is, I'm always here also because I know how the European terrain works and I know how the African terrain works. So we can collaborate the two and come to a very, very, very meaningful and profitable business for all, and to build this country, Ghana, as we want it to be. And we leave it for our children and our children's children to also pursue. But we have to put discipline in place.
Well, again, definitely keep up the good work. It was an excellent presentation that you had provided this morning with a great amount of knowledge and information. Thank you for your friend and partner, Sambos. He really did an excellent job towards assisting and arranging this interview. Couldn't have done it without him. And definitely,
yeah.
Okay. And definitely, two heads are better than one. You work with people that know how to put certain areas together, like social media, and it definitely provides a tremendous asset. Definitely look forward to having you on in the future as things progress, and wish you the very best of luck for what your current plans are and what your future plans are. And again, keep up the good work, and I really appreciate you giving up your time this morning in the United States and this afternoon in Ghana, Africa. Okay.
Yeah. There's a support system. Any investor who's come, it's a new terrain. If you want the emerging market, then the best emerging market place to be Ghana, because the returns are very, very huge. You get very good returns in your investment. The government is willing to accept you. Everyone in Ghana will accept you when it comes through. Just please show them some respect. Don't look down on them. Deal with them on a one-to-one basis. Also, use your instinct also, because your instinct sometimes tells you what to do and what not to do. But I will advise and I will encourage African Americans, I'll encourage Europeans who want to do business in Ghana should not hesitate and come and do it. I have got partners in Poland who are coming to, establish cocoa plantations in Ghana. There's a lot. I've got Italians who are coming. Partner in tomato factories. So there is a lot of business to be done in Ghana. There is a lot of work to be done in Ghana. Today I just read that one of our top businessmen, Mr. Ibrahim Mahama has acquired, a mining license for the Black Volta, which has tremendous amount of gold. That's one of our emerging businessmen who I think is on the line of Dangote. Those who know Africa well will know Dangote is one of Africa's shining star. And I think there are a couple of Ghanaians who are following suit, and I think Ibrahim Mahama is one of them. And I do respect him terribly. So there we go. Come do business in Ghana. You have people that you can look up to. It happens that all these guys who are doing well in Ghana have all lived overseas. They've lived abroad, so they blend the European style with the African style, and it's working. And I think, if it's done by one person, it can be done by another. So don't hesitate. Do business in Ghana, and you'll be rewarded.
All right.
And I think on that note, I'll say thank you very much for giving me audience. Thank you very much for giving me audience, and I pray that my dream come true. That one day, Africa will be where it's supposed to be.
All right. Those are going to have to be your last words, and I definitely appreciate that. And again, keep up the good work. This is Jonathan Small. Just enjoyed hosting this edition of the Face to Face Talk Show with the very special guest, 2024 presidential candidate for the GCPP president election. Also, no other than Dr. Daniels Augustus Lartey Jr. And it was a great interview on his part, and I really, hopefully for you, the viewers, you found this particular show also interesting and informative. Currently working on putting together a show for next week, and until I see you again, for people out there, have a very blessed day and keep the faith. Thank you.